Hello, I'm Sophie Jackson. I'm one of the admissions tutors at Peterhouse, responsible for science and medicine, and I'm a professor of chemical and molecular biology in the Department of Chemistry.
So to start us off, Sophie, can you talk a bit about the structure of the Physical Natural Sciences course and how that fits into natural sciences generally at Cambridge?
So the natural science course at Cambridge is quite a kind of complex course, and I advise anyone interested in applying for it, they go and look in detail at the websites which have all the different subjects in all the different years. So essentially in the first year there are 7 subjects. 4 of these are on the physical natural science side, so that's physics, chemistry, material science and earth science, and you have to take 3 out of 7. Generally people stick with either physical sciences or biological sciences. However, we do have an increasing number of candidates who want to do primarily physics but say put biology in there too, or vice versa.
The first thing that students need to think about when applying is writing their personal statement. Are there any kinds of things that you think look especially good on a personal statement for physical natural sciences?
So it's very good to provide the reasons of why you're interested in the subject. Was it something from a class at school? Was it something you read? Was it something you saw on TV? So any kind of background about what your interests are and why you're particularly interested in studying natural science is very useful.
And next of all in the application process is the pre-interview admissions assessment, the NSAA. Do you have any advice on how students can prepare for that and how do we use it in the admissions process?
So my best advice is to practice, and there are quite a lot of past papers available now because we've run the natural science assessment for quite a few years, so really familiarise yourself with the type and style of the question. One piece of advice I would really recommend is there are a number of different sections. We do find, having spoken to students who've taken the test at interview, that one of the things they frequently do is run out of time. So, time management within the exam is something to be careful about.
That brings us nicely onto interviews themselves. How do we structure the interviews for physical natural sciences at Peterhouse?
So at Peterhouse, we do the same on the physical side as we do on the biological side. You will have 2 interviews for 30-35 minutes each with 2 interviewers, and the interviewers will be in subjects where you are taking that subject at A level, and will ask you questions based on the A level syllabus. We don't expect you to know anything more than the A level syllabus. Clearly, if you know more, then that is not a bad thing. But the questions are quite hard, and often, although all the candidates do know the science needed to complete them successfully, it's not always clear how to get to the answer initially. So you might have to break down a problem into a number of different parts.
And so what are you looking for from the students and their responses to those questions?
So some knowledge, although knowledge per se is probably not the most important thing, the ability to think, particularly think about problems that are difficult and problems that they won't have come across before, and also the ability to assimilate information that will be given to you during the interview.
And then finally, why do you think that students should apply to Peterhouse for physical natural sciences?
So my main reasons are just very general. And that's, it's a wonderful, small and friendly college. People do know each other very well, whether that's academic members of staff and students, or students and other members of staff. the students in different years know each other. We have absolutely fantastic grounds right in the middle of Cambridge, but we're not on the main tourist track. And I think in connection with being one of the smallest colleges is also the fact that we don't have a huge number of students in any subject, including physical and natural science. And that means that your director of studies and the people who teach you are teaching relatively few students. So you will probably get a lot more attention than perhaps if you were in a much bigger college where there were many, many more students taking your subject.